So President Biden should have held a press conference on Friday because the hysteria was growing throughout the country about a resurgence of COVID through the Delta variant. You heard of it, of course. If you're paying attention, it was everywhere. And panic ensued, okay? So it's the President of the United States who has to calm things down. That's his job as the leader of the country. Biden didn't even close to holding any kind of a press conference, didn't say anything. He has nobody out there now because Fauci's credibility is done. He's finished. Nobody believes him. The guy is just like, CNN may still like him, but nobody else does. All right, so what is the problem? The problem is that the federal government told everybody, if you get vaccinated, you're protected against COVID. But now with these new variants of COVID, some people are getting the virus even when vaccinated. The problem is they are infinitesimal. Word of the day, infinitesimal. If you're vaccinated, you're protected. A few people get it, but not many. Nobody dies, okay, who has been vaccinated. Now, I'll contradict myself in a moment, but you know what I'm talking about. But the press just blows this thing up. So much so that Biden himself and his administration scolded the New York Times and Washington Post, their two liberal allies, by saying, you got to stop with the hysterical headlines here. It's not true. What's happening is not true. But the Biden administration couldn't explain what's happening. So that leaves it to me to do it. And, you know, we reach millions of people here, but we're not the federal government. Okay, so let's walk through it. Got a pen and paper? Write it down, all right, for your own well-being and your family's well-being. So right now, 164 million Americans have been vaccinated, okay? Out of that, 125,000 people have acquired COVID after being vaccinated. That is a percentage of 0.0077%. I mean, it's ridiculous, okay? It is almost impossible for you to get COVID if you were vaccinated. Not impossible, almost. Okay, how about dying? 1,640 people have died, and all of them have compromised immune systems even though they got vaccinated. They have underlying conditions. How about hospitalization? 6,560 people. That's it. All right, out of 164 million people. So this is why I'm so angry, because the press doesn't do that. They just blow it up. They're desperate. We know they're desperate. And people aren't reading newspapers and not watching television news across the board. They have to lie to get your attention. And they got your attention and mine. Now, the stats that I gave you came from the Centers of Disease Control. The hospitals report to it. All right. Now, the problem here with the Delta variant is unvaccinated people. They're at risk. If you're vaccinated, you're not at risk. I'm not at risk. And I'm not wearing a blanket mask. I don't care what Cuomo says. I'm not wearing it. Now, can I spread COVID? I don't know. Might be. I might have the virus in me and spread it to somebody else. But if that somebody else is vaccinated, they're not going to get it. If they're unvaccinated, they might. Do I feel sorry for people who are unvaccinated who do get COVID? Interesting question. But I'm not going to give up my freedom for those people. I'm not. If you're not vaccinated by this time, that's your decision. And you have a right to make it. But I'm not wearing a mask to protect you. I'm not. Okay. So that's the problem. Unvaccinated people. In Florida, they got a flood of cases, all of them unvaccinated. They're in the hospitals. It's bad. It's bad. This is the most contagious disease I've seen in my lifetime. It's bad. You're not vaccinated, you're going to get hurt. Not if, it's when. You're going to get hurt. Okay, so I've told you the truth down the line as I always do. Now let's get into some other situations. According to the CDC, 60% of black Americans are vaccinated, 40% are not. It's a big crew. 40% of African Americans not vaccinated. Now, the press will never report on it. Obvious reasons. They're not going to report on anything negative that has to do with any minority community. Just not going to do it. It's a news blackout. So that's a lot of folks. And they spread it among themselves in their communities. So a lot of the cases are coming out of there. The other cases are 45% of Republicans who said they are not likely to get vaccinated. I don't believe that number. I think that number is lower than that because this is not CDC. This is Axios. Okay. I put that number, the hardcore right, at 30%. They just aren't going to do it. I know I have friends who aren't going to do it. And by the way, I don't hold it against my friends. I don't not communicate with them. It doesn't affect the friendship, although I tell them I think they're wrong. But they got to do what they got to do. Now, the African Americans and the far right have something in common, as I wrote in my column, and I hope you read it on BillO'Reilly.com, because it tells you, lays out everything, and you can read it slowly and you can see it. They don't trust the government. Period. They'll never trust the government, no matter what the government does or who's in charge. Never. And so when the government says take the vaccine, they go no. That's what it is. There's a good amount of fear in a lot of unvaccinated people. They're afraid. And I'm not going to tell you to be vaccinated. I'm going to tell you to talk to your doctor. If you don't have a doctor, then I can't help you. But I'm not going to say O'Reilly is going to tell. I don't tell my friends to get vaccinated. I just said, if you're not vaccinated, you should have a damn good reason why, and you should talk to your doctor about it. I mean, I think that's fair, not intruding on anybody's constitutional rights. If you have a doctor, and you should, you call that person up and talk it over. Okay. Now, here's a real bad part. So a lot of areas are thinking about masking up the kids for school this coming term. That's horrible in every way. There aren't any studies that I've found on children under 12 in America vis-a-vis COVID. We need to have studies here about how COVID intrudes on children under 12. They can get it, but it's rare. And, if I'm a school board person, I say the teachers have got to be vaccinated. You want to go into a classroom, you got to be vaccinated. That's fine with me. Because you're in contact with children, and all the children aren't vaccinated. You can't get the vax if you're under 12. Can't get it. So you got to be vaccinated if you're a teacher. A lot of teachers aren't because of the unions. So the kids under 12 are really, are you going to mask them up again? Let's see a study on COVID and under 12s. Oh, this makes me so mad. It's so harmful to this country. So here are some places that are mandating masks. I hope you don't live there. New Orleans, D.C., Atlanta, Kansas City, St. Louis, multiple counties in Nevada, Savannah, Georgia, Provincetown, Massachusetts, L.A. County, Palm Beach, Florida, Salt Lake City. All right, they passed the mask mandates. Fellow Americans, I am concerned about the U.S. dollar. Huge debt, as you know. Will it stay as the world's reserve currency? That's why now more than ever, I recommend you diversify with gold and silver. And the only company I recommend, and have for years, is American Hartford Gold. I trust them. I've personally done business with them. They sell physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your IRA. And they make it very easy. So call them right now. Make sure you tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you, and they will give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Since I have been recommending American Hartford Gold, gold shot up more than 40%. Silver, more than 60%. So don't wait. Call them now. 866-501-5201. 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201. Or text Bill to 65532. Bill O'Reilly here. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure you subscribe to the First TV YouTube page. Just hit the big red subscribe button below, and you'll get clips and highlights of my program, The No Spin News, every single day. We'll see you soon.